A potential civil war now averted. Russia's Vladimir Putin allegedly accepting a deal brokered by Belarus President Lukashenko. Mercenary chief Prigozhin not now facing any retaliation or criminal charges, despite Putin initially calling it treason and a betrayal after he attempted a coup. Is Putin now losing grip on the Russian Federation? Let's keep this conversation going with foreign policy and geopolitical analyst Harley Lippman. Also with us, a senior fellow at the Center for the National Interest, former senior advisor in the Trump and Bush administration, and Newsmax contributor Christian Whiten. Guys, let's take a look first at this video. It's Prigozhin and Wagner forces leaving Rostov in Russia. People are cheering them, they're swarming them. It's like as if he was Rihanna. The group was hailed as heroes. But this guy Prigozhin, he is not a good guy. I'll start off with you first, Christian. What do you make of this? That he got this kind of hero's welcome?
Well, I think it shows there's frustration with the war effort in Russia, just the amount of casualties that have been incurred, both in Russia and Ukraine. But you're seeing here, of course, the Russian reaction to it, and then the view that Prigozhin and Wagner have been more effective and care a little bit more about the lives of their men. And also, this could just be a sign of, it's difficult to show open dissent, at least in an organized, well-organized manner in Russia. It's not the Soviet Union. You can grumble about the leader, but once you organize a political effort against him, you'll start to run into some trouble. So you're probably seeing some of the just frustration over the war and over the state of political affairs in Russia bubble over and accrue to Prigozhin.
Harley, what do you think really happened? There's a lot of skepticism that Belarus, this puppet country, kind of came in and brokered this deal. Some are speculating China. Does this make, I have so many questions. Putin, is this the end for him? And is really Prigozhin going to be just sipping some vodka and hanging out in Belarus and not face any consequences for attempting a coup?
Well, as you said earlier, he's not a good guy. He has had people murdered with a sledgehammer who he felt was not loyal enough to him or the cause. So he's a very difficult person. I think that what is happening is that the people around Putin want to protect their economic interests, and I think they all rushed to broker a deal. For Prigozhin, it was for him to protect him and his family and his wealth. For Putin, it was to stop this immediately. So it was a very hasty arrangement. And these are mercenaries, after all, in the Wagner group, so they do it for money. So there's one theory that says that they were paid a lot of money to go march on Moscow, and they were paid even more money to stop. So that's one theme. The other theme is, if you take them at face value, that they didn't want any more Russian bloodshed. That's another theory, or that could be added to the first theory. But what we do know is that he was on his way, and it looked like he could have gone unimpeded, even though the Russian Air Force is dominant and there would have been bitter fighting. It looks like Russian troops were either indifferent or basically caught off guard, is what I think. They didn't know what to make of it. Wagner troops are Russian soldiers on their side, so if they see Wagner troops marching, at first they don't know what to do. And this guy is very experienced in coups d'etats. He's orchestrated them in Africa very successfully. He knows what he has to do. He knows it's all about speed and surprise. And it looked like he may have been successful. So this is something that we're going to learn about in the future. As to what stopped him will be quite extraordinary.
Harley Lippman, Christian Whiten, thank you so much for joining us.